Okay. So welcome everybody to Jayden's Suzuki Book 4 graduation celebration. It's really wonderful that you're all supporting him and that you're here. We wish we could all be together. Here's somebody else coming in. Oh, there are people who need to be. Anik, you got that? Let's see. Some people need to be let in. That was from.
Okay, got it.
Well, it's really a joy for me to welcome you all to this milestone in Jayden's piano career. Some of you have been with us for other book graduation celebrations. Jayden's decided to play the repertoire from Suzuki Piano Book 4 in the order that he learned it. I think that do you all have a program? Was that sent out?
The program was on the invite, but it wasn't emailed.
Okay, so maybe we'll announce each piece just so that you know what you're hearing. There's a wide variety of music you're going to hear, music from all four eras of the classical world, and including, I hope, someone was just invited by Jayden. You're taking care of that, Anik?
Yes.
Okay, great. And I hope we'll have a surprise at the end. Crystal, did you inquire about Jayden doing that at the end? Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll have a nice surprise at the end. So this is what I suggest. I think that Jayden's going to need to stand between some of these pieces so that he can stretch. So if he'd like to come in, we'll unmute and we'll welcome him with applause. If you'd like to applaud between pieces, I think that would be great, and we can cheer him on. The first piece he's going to play is Rondo by Mozart. And Jayden, welcome. For anyone who doesn't have enable original sound as your setting in your audio settings in Zoom, please do that. And Tony, whatever device you're using at home has a different sound than what I'm used to hearing. So could you use the device that you're used to using in the lesson? It might be Crystal's device. And make that be the audio and mute whatever we just heard. Is that possible?
Can you hear us?
Yes. You'll have to mute the other device, the one that has the picture, to turn the sound off of that, and leave that nearer to where we have it when he's playing in his lesson.
Okay. Well, is this better? Oops. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you play the ending of Rondo just so we can all hear the difference? Would everyone agree that that's a nicer sound?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
now we've got much better audio considering.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Wonderful. So one thing I thought we could do, since since we didn't have a story to read this year, or we didn't have some kind of special thing, I thought that everybody can, whoever would like to, can chime in after he plays each piece and tell us how the music made them feel. How's that for thinking about what we're hearing? So the next piece is also by Mozart. It's one of his 8 minuets and trios. This is the first one. So you'll hear a minuet, which is a dance from back in the day, and a middle section that is a very different character than the opening minuet, which I hope you'll pay attention to. And if that makes you feel different than the minuet, please tell us about that. But this is dance music when people used to wear those big hoopy skirts and the tight bodices and the froofy shirts for the men and the wigs. Don't forget the wigs. Okay, here we go. Minuet 1 and trio. Nate, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you were grooving to the beginning of that, weren't you? Yeah. How did the music make you feel?
I don't know, just good in general.
Good in general. That's a good thing, especially in these times. Anyone else want to chime in?
Made me feel playful.
Playful. That's a really good word.
Right.
Nice. Thank you.
It was uplifting for me.
That's a great word too, uplifting.
I wanted to put on a hoop skirt and go dancing.
Oh, Maria.
Now that's awesome.
Put that skirt on, Marie.
You first.
Vanessa, did you want to try to say something? Was the unmute not working for you? Oh, okay. Lovely. Yeah. Hopefully we'll leave the chat on so Jayden can read all the lovely compliments that are coming in. So we're going to move to a romantic composer from the Romantic period. His name was Friedrich Bergmüller. And these are pieces from a set of what's supposed to be exercises. There's 25 progressive pieces, it's called. And Jayden is going to play first number 2. It's called Arabesque. And the next is called By the Limpid Stream, which means a clear stream. So hopefully you'll hear the differences between these 2 pieces. And I think if you do it as a set, Jayden, everyone can talk about how each piece made them feel, and you can take a bow after the 2 pieces.
Okay, sounds fair.
Jayden. Well done.
Jay, go Jay.
Is the picture still okay? Somebody said that the picture was frozen. Was that fixed for whoever mentioned that?
No,
We're only seeing the still picture.
we only have a
You're
still
on
picture.
a still picture. That's no fun.
Yes, we can't see him on the full screen playing the piano,
Okay.
only in the
so
little
it-
box.
All right. So in the on one of the sides of your Zoom program, you should have something where you can say switch to active speaker. Or Jayden, you did highlight.
Now I just saw it. Now he came on the
Okay.
full screen.
Yeah, now he's back.
That's because the technician whiz just made him spotlighted. Thank you, Jayden.
Yay, technician whiz.
All right. So we heard Arabesque, which was the first piece, and then the Limpid Stream. Just tell us in a few words what each piece made you feel like when you were listening. They were not the same. I can't say anybody, so I can't call on you. So because I just have the full screen now. Jayden took over with
The
Spotlight.
first piece, I felt like I heard marching, and maybe that was because of I felt marching.
Yeah, you had that left hand that was keeping this very
Yes, I guess that was because of
Yeah.
so that it was kind of strict,
Okay.
and with a lovely free melody surrounding it, embroidering it.
It reminds me of your dad when he used to play. Heard all those songs before.
Something sounded familiar.
Yeah, very nostalgic for us.
I love the limpid stream. That just made me think about all the rivers and the creeks we've seen on our hikes. Just, I love that feeling, seeing the
Beautiful.
water.
The device that's doing the audio, Jayden, if it's on the floor directly, can you prop something under it so that it's not, the microphone isn't touching the floor? Can you put something between it or lean it on a chair or something so that it's, yeah, that's great. Just tilt it against it so that it doesn't have something behind it. Great, thanks.
Is this better?
I imagine it'll improve the sound. Love it. All right, now we're going to go back to the Baroque period and we're going to hear a piece that is by somebody that we don't know. It's a beautiful melody that Johann Sebastian Bach must have heard at some point in his travels. He probably came home and said to his wife, Anna Magdalena, hey, I've got this great tune. I just heard it and I know you're going to love to play it. Unfortunately, the copy machine is broken. No, they didn't have copy machines in those days. So he had to actually remember it, and then he wrote it down for her. So this is called musette, which is also a Baroque dance. It's also an instrument from early 16th century in France, and it was like a bagpipe instrument. So you're going to hear a little bit of a drone sound in his left hand. If you listen to the bass, you'll hear repeating sounds. That's imitating the drone that you would hear in a bagpipe. But this musette is super, super famous, and I hope you will all enjoy.
Jay.
Yeah.
Go Jay,
Nice.
go Jay.
All right. So now we're going to go to probably the longest piece on the program. And it is because it is one of Beethoven's how many sonatas, Jayden? Yeah, if you all heard him, one of Beethoven's 32 piano sonatas. This is his sonata in G major. It's Opus 49, number 2, not to be confused with Opus 49, number 1, which someday he'll also play. It's 2 movements. And anything else you want to say about it, Jayden? So it's traditional when people play sonatas, no matter what instrument they're playing it for, that we hold our applause until the end of both movements. So the first movement is marked allegro ma non troppo, which means lively but not too much. And the next movement is a tempo of a minuet, tempo di minuetto. So we have these 2 very different movements and different feelings in each. So jot down some of your feelings as you hear the first movement and then the second movement.
Bravo, bravo.
Great job. Yeah.
Hey,
Nice job, Jayden.
encore.
Good job.
We just happen to have some other pieces for an encore.
Ooh,
Thanks for the cue. So now we have a piece called Bagatelle, one of the shortest pieces Jayden's going to play because of the high speed he plays it in. And this is by a Russian composer named Alexander Cherepkin. And he lived until the last century, into the late 1900s. So he is a 20th century composer. Push your bench back and sit forward on your bench. Yeah, not that much. You don't want to fall off. Something in between you. Okay, enjoy Bagatelle. I forgot to ask you about the feeling words of the two movements of the sonata, if we want to go back to that, and then contrast to what you just heard with this 20th century piece. So the first movement of the sonata started like this, and the second movement was this. Anyone want to backtrack for a sec?
I felt as
You're
if
unmuted.
I felt as if the first movement was like, I don't know, more up paced, up tempo. It felt like if I were to elicit an emotion, it's like I was outside playing with my friends. Whereas the second movement, I guess, was more calm, subdued. It's like I've come home, you know.
To chill, right? That's nice. I like that idea. Can you hear everything, Jayden?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I noticed a difference between the older pieces and the newer one in the like how close his hands were. In other words, the octave. It seems like the older pieces, his left hand was further down the keyboard, whereas the newer one, they were close together.
Why don't you play the very beginning of the bagatelle, and then play the very end when that melody returns down the octave, and everyone can see what the composer did. Right till there's Tracy. And then when you heard the melody return, the left hand stayed kind of low, like you pointed out. Here, watch this. After the
Yeah.
yeah, the hands are much closer together. And so what did we also hear in this piece was a lot more dissonances. Can you give an
Yes.
example of a dissonance that was like where the two sounds were like two keys that were next to each other? Everyone hear that? Yeah.
I got a feeling of, with the dissonance, I got a feeling of, first of all, that it was very modern and almost like weather elements or outer space or something like that. But that I got that it was, whereas the other pieces were more musical and almost and more fugue-like. I'm not saying they were fugues, but fugue-like. And that last piece that you played, whatever it was, seemed to be like the adults, mature people being very polite and gracious and, you know, to each other and all. And then this, again, is this last piece with the dissonance. I felt elements. I didn't feel any kind of, I felt more things like, as I say, elements as opposed to people, or it had a different feeling that wasn't as human, but as, if I'm
Yeah, that
make
could be
myself
if that's
unclear.
your impression, that's good to go. Good, thank you. Anyone else want to chime in before we move on in the program? Oh, he's sneaking the bench closer and closer. Nobody realizes how much he's grown since I met him. And of course the bench had to be closer when he was little, but he's not little anymore. See how far you are from the fall board, from the bottom of the, yeah, you can sit forward on the chair, more towards the edge. There you go. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, the next three pieces are all by the same composer, a super famous composer from the Baroque period. He encompasses all the different elements of Baroque music, and his name is Johann Sebastian Bach. The first piece Jayden's going to play for you is called Gavotte, and it's actually in a form called rondo form, which you actually heard in the second movement of the Beethoven sonata. Which, if you want to describe what a rondo form is? You want to tell them a layer cake story, or what do you want to do?
Oh, me?
Oh, yeah, you.
So So rondo form is like you have a format, then you have another format, then you repeat the first one, and then you add another one to be like the final thing. And then you can choose to either repeat the first one or just end it at the third one.
There you go. So it's, if you want to be talk in the food world, it's like a layer cake. You know, you have cake, and then you have a filling. You have more cake. You have a different filling. You have more cake. And in the case of this rondo, there's no icing. This rondo, he's going to play Kol Gavat. There's no icing, so there's no additional section. But in the Beethoven, a second movement of the sonata, there was icing when he did this part. That was the icing, because it reminded us of, but it was a little bit different. All right, so here we have Gavat. This is from the G minor suite by Johann Sebastian Bach. And I think you'll take a bow after that before you play the other two pieces. Please mute yourself.
Excellent, Jay. Excellent.
So the last two pieces from book 4, which hopefully isn't the last pieces we'll hear from Jayden, but the last two pieces from book 4 are the last two pieces in one of Bach's 6 suites and Minuet 2, and then a return to Minuet 1, which I think you'll all recognize. And the last piece is a jig. And all of these are once again dance forms. The minuet is a dance in 3/4 time, not so different from a waltz. The steps are different. And a jig is a very, very lively dance. The English word for jig is a jig, Jig, which if you've ever seen an Irish jig, you know that those are really, really fast dances. So here we go. We have two pieces from Bach's suite in B flat major.
Bravo!
Go Jay.
Yay.
That must have put everyone in a good mood, right?
It did.
Mhm.
All right, we'll hear how you feel after you hear the jig. Jayden, you can move the bench and make it straight, and you can move it an inch forward. I see you're just not feeling comfortable. Yeah, that was 3 inches, but I'll let you go. Okay.
He's gonna have to do it again.
Jayden, you're muted.
Huh? It muted?
Yep.
Oh,
Somebody muted you. Yeah.
well,
Yeah, that's okay. He loves playing the beginning of this.
yeah. Woo!
Well done, young man.
Nice job,
Oh.
Jayden.
Yeah. More.
Encore.
Go Adams.
So, do you have an encore?
Yes.
I do have a song prepared.
Yay!
Yay.
Can you introduce it?
Okay, sorry. But this song is my composition called Space Escape. I made it for a composition competition and it got second place. So
Oh, beautiful. Hey,
Good job, Jayden. Nice job.
Standing ovation.
So actually you heard music from the Western world, from the Baroque, the classical, the Romantic, the 20th century, and our new century. Music from all the centuries. Congratulations, Jayden. I hope your parents have a presentation for you and I will deliver this to you. Dun, dun,
oh, great.
dun. I wonder what that is. I wonder what you got. I wonder what it could be. Show everybody.
I have book 5 since I just graduated.
So I will leave you all for some private family and friends time with Jayden. Jayden, congratulations. This was such a treat. And I know you brightened everybody's day hearing all this beautiful music. And
Oh, yes.
you made everybody have a lot of nice feelings. And thank you all for participating and telling us how the music made you feel.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yes,
My
thank
pleasure.
you. I second that. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's a real treat to work with a student like Jayden.
Are we all gonna have ice cream?
Virtual ice cream.
Go get it. Enjoy.
Thank you all for coming, guys.
Thank you, wonderful Jayden. Thank you so
Wonderful,
much.
Jayden.
Beautiful. Jayden, you are wonderful. Thank you so much.
Just,
Congrats.
you're very talented, Jayden.
Good job, Jayden.
You're
It's
wonderful, Jayden. Very, very talented. You gotta catch a cab home.
It's amazing to me that you were able to do that without reading music. As a musician myself, it's amazing to me that you can do that without reading music because, and it's a real talent.
Thank you.
And I watch your fingers so much. They're so dexterous and wonderful and clean. I just watch your hands. It's so great to watch you play.
Thank you.
Oh,
And looking so
And
sharp.
you look so nice.
oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This was a treat for us.
One day you'll have to learn how to flip your tails over the bench when you play your next concert.
At Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
You guys can't see how tall he is, but
He's
he has
look-
grown
Yes,
so
my-
much. I know. It's like, oh my
Wow.
Whoa.
All of you.
Oh, uh-oh.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
It's a problem. Very nice.
Well,
I liked your I like the space escape composition too. It was interesting. It started off very melodic, and you got into the more subdued stuff toward the end. Very nice.
Very
Thank you,
nice.
Tom.
Thank you. Thanks.
And your composition, Jayden, was just amazing. Really amazing. And the different parts to it. But it was just really great. Shows where your head's at. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And
Thank you,
thank you for
guys.
inviting me.
So much.
Okay,
Bye now. Mwah.
we're gonna sign off too. Bye.
Okay.
Bye,
Take
Jayden.
care, everyone.
Bye.
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 Thank you
Thank you,
so
guys.
much, Jayden.
Tony, yep.
Love
Bye now.
you.